Hashem, we're going to continue over here. We're speaking about Goyim in the times of Mashiach, in the times of the future redemption. So the Rebbe asks over here a simple question. How could you say that 2/3 of the world will be erased in the time to come through Mashiach? It says that Hashem is merciful on all of his creations. Hashem has a rachmanis on animals. So if Hashem has a rachmanis on animals, and every single type of creature and being, what? Oh, don't worry. David has rachmanis on every type of creature and being. So why is so how could you say that in the Geula Hashem is going to erase a huge amount of people? So you're going to say, oh, there was the Holocaust. God erased a huge amount of people. So the Rebbe says it's a very simple difference between the Holocaust and the time of Mashiach. Time of the Holocaust, time of Golus, when God's concealed. It's not, then you can have not normal things taking place, crazy things taking place, the Holocaust taking place. But in the redemption, when God's going to be revealed, God's going to be the king over the whole world. Why? And everything is going to be the way God wants it to be in a revealed way. And God wants, and God's merciful. How could he say in such a time, God's going to delete 2/3 of the world? So the Rebbe explains and gives an answer. It says like it starts off. The Pasha Sayavsha Lema Shapirish the Pish 9 by Yikoris Yigvo, Al Derech Zapasuk Vikakar Kol Bnei Sheis who Leisho Mesalem Yishmadu Al De Pula De Becharach Mayurus Vashmodo Elish Layi Elahem Hamshech Shalderis Yilodin. So the simple way we can say is that it's not that God's going to make a special action of destruction in the redemption. That God's going to erase 2/3 of the world, and so to this that Mashiach is going to. It says he's going to rule over the whole world. So a couple of the commentaries say he's going to destroy all the nations of the world. It doesn't mean that he's going to come and kill them with a rifle, with a gun, and stab them and shoot them and kill them. No. They're going to take away, Hashem's going to take away, and Mashiach's going to take away the ability of having a continuation, of having more kids. And therefore, the world is 2/3 of the world are going to be erased. 2/3 of the world are going to stop, not going to have the ability to have any more kids. And therefore, the guy gets old, because God said he's going to delete 2/3 of the world.
Why would God do that?
That's what he says. He's going to punish the wicked people. Or he's going to. Or okay, you're asking a good question. It says 2/3 of the world Hashem is going to erase in the future redemption.
But I doubt all of them are wicked. Half of America.
No. So not everyone's wicked. So that's also the question. From the simple meaning of 2/3 of the world are going to be erased, means even the righteous ones, not even the wicked people, even the righteous going will be killed 2/3. So how? So the question is, how could you? That's not merciful. God's merciful. So the answer over here we're saying is he's going to take away. He's going to take away the power to have a continuation.
But why would God do that?
And that's already not considered doing a disgusting act. Now, just 1 second. When there's not going to be the ability to give birth anymore, and automatically, to take away this ability to give birth is automatically going to cause that 2/3 of the world are going to get erased. Now, you can't ask a question and say, if you can't say, wait a second, if God's even going to take away the ability to give birth and have more people, it's also not a nice thing. It's also not being merciful. Why can't you say that? This ability to give birth that there are in creations of the world, in this is brought out the revelation of God's infinity. God is infinite, and so too God gave this idea that he's infinite to people through this, that they can give birth and make another generation and another generation. If the ability to give birth, it could just go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever, non-stop. That's like one of the only things in this world. This cup can't create another cup, can't make another thing, but the ability to give birth gives birth to kids, and they can have kids and kids and kids and kids and kids and kids and kids. This is the idea of infinity. Right, I'll fire. Okay, so it's going to catch on this, catch on that. But it's not just going to be continue. Eventually, even if you have a rope. See, you're going to burn the whole rope. Eventually, it's just going to stop. There's a certain limit, but to give birth is unlimited. So this ability, this idea is a revelation of God's infinity in the creations. The
I
creations
still
in
don't
the
understand why
world,
God want to do that.
just 1 second. Creations on their own are made to be with a specific measurement, a specific limitation. Therefore, it's not possible that creations, the limited creations like us, should be able to have this idea of infinity, of infinite light. This ability to give birth is is a power that has no end. This idea that a person can give birth, can make more people, is something that Hashem gave a special present that He put into the creations that they should be able to make more. But a creation on its own is a limited thing, and it shouldn't be able to make more. So when you take away, when someone's missing this idea of not able to give birth, that's not that you're taking away from a person something that he has. You're just not adding and giving him something extra. Because a person on his own is not meant to make more people. So it's like it's not that you're taking away something. If someone's giving you a present, then he stops giving you a present. It doesn't mean that he's not a nice person. He's not giving you an extra present. This person on his own is one thing, and which means that he's a limited creation. He's not able to make infinite. This that people can give birth, that's a present that God added and gave to people in this world. So maybe we could say in the redemption, God's just going to stop giving this present of giving birth, and then that's how the goyim are going to disappear in the redemption. But the Rebbe says, this is not a good enough explanation to explain how, on one hand, God could take away 2/3 of the world, and at the same time still be considered a merciful God, because there's nothing wrong. He's stopping to give a present. Why can't you say such a thing? Ki Aleph. First of all, says the Rebbe, because in the future redemption in the Messianic era in the time of Moshiach, God will transform and change all the language and all the occupation of the whole world. And everyone's going to be calling out in Hashem's name instead of in other names, in other Avodah Zarah. Everyone's going to serve Hashem. Madua shafil b'mashach hazman is battle hamitzvot shall koydim va'oivdim. Why should God stop? If everyone's serving God, Mashiach's going to fix the whole world to serve God. Why should God make that these people shouldn't continue living? Why? And like you asked before, why should God do that? What's the point? What's the point of deleting 2/3 of people that are serving God? They're not doing Avedos. They're not doing sin. They're not killing other people. They're not Hamas, Hezbollah that should be demolished and erased. You have righteous people that are serving God. They're calling God in Hashem's name. They're serving God. Why kill them? Why erase them? Why delete them? Base. Second question. Before this Revuah, it says clearly in the prophecy, it says that the kings of the Goyim and their high priests, their high sorim, their ministers are going to be your servants, your workers, the ones that are going to be taking care of all of your necessities. Okay? How are we, if you're going to have fields and you're going to have houses, we were going to be sitting and learning together who's going to take care of all of these stuff. So the Gemara says the Goyim are going to be taking care of it. Well, if you're going to say that after a certain amount of time all these Goyim are going to be erased, so who's going to take care of the fields? Who's going to be these? The Torah says that the Goyim are going to be there constantly, always serving us. So where are they? Where are they going to be
Alive.
if they're going to be erased and deleted? How can you say they'll be erased and deleted?
They won't die.
It says "Va'amdu zarim v'ra'u tzonchem." Strangers, which means other nations of the other world, will get up and be your shepherds and take care of your sheep.
Robots.
Now, even more than that, who's the one that says 2/3 of the world are going to get erased? Who's this opinion? This is the opinion of Rish Lakish, okay? We said earlier, Rish Lakish says all the nations of the world are going to be erased. This same Rish Lakish says somewhere else in Gemara, okay? Kol hazoir b'tzitzis zoicha m'shamshum le'beis alafim eches beis avodim. Anyone that's he's zohir, he makes sure to always have tzitzis, to wear tzitzis. He's going to merit the 2,400 slaves. That all these goyim are going to come and hold on his tzitzis. I think on each string, if you do the math, he's going to have a nice amount, basically, of non-Jewish slaves holding on each string of his tzitzis. Im kein ketzad yitoche lemer shekol ha'umis b'meshech hazaman yikor. So how is it possible to say that all the nations of the world, within a certain amount of time, are going to be cut off? Where are all of these slaves? He didn't say that there's going to be slaves in the beginning of the redemption, only later on they're going to be erased. It says that always in the redemption, we will be having slaves that will serve us. So what does the Rebbe explain? A beautiful answer. We must say that according to all the explanations of the pasuk v'karkar kol b'neshes, even according to the explanation, the Rambam and the Onkelos says that he's going to rule over the whole world. Even according to the explanation that says he's going to destroy the whole world. It does not mean that he's going to literally destroy and erase and delete the goyim when Moshiach comes. Mitziusam tiyagam lasilove. The existence of the nations of the world will be there even in the future redemption. Al shechiluke deis hanal shnei apirushim bevakarkar kol b'nei sheis. Al derech za apirushim hanal siv beis befi shnayim bo yikarusu v'yikvo v'ashlish yutarbo. Hey ma'ida is ha'ofen boi tiyem mitziusam be'isi hazman. The different opinions are not if they will be existing or not. No, it's in what way will they exist. According to all the opinions, they will exist when Mashiach comes. There will be goyim. Even the one that says there won't be goyim, it doesn't mean there won't be goyim. The machlokes is in what way will the goyim be existent? What type of a form will the goyim exist? Will they exist as a, like we're going to explain later on, will they be a separate entity for themselves? Will they have their own redemption? Or they're just going to be a side point, a sidekick, a side thing that they will that they're also going to have, they're going to get the leftovers from the redemption light. No. They will have their own personal redemption, or they're just going to get leftovers from the Jewish redemption. So the continues. After the future redemption takes place, when godliness will be revealed in the whole world. Like it says, God's going to be the king over the whole world. The whole world will accept God as their king over it. But Hashem then will be one name. Hashem will be the only God that the world is going to serve. Hashem is only going to have one name that the world is going to serve. It's simple that then there will be no room for any impurity, any wickedness in the world. And like it says in Zechariah before the pasuk that Hashem is going to take away 2/3 of the world, what does it say right before that? It says that the spirit of impurity will be demolished, erased, and taken away from the world. So too regarding people, it's understood. That then, in the time to come, there will be no room for people that are against Hashem, against or wicked people. It's not going to be possible. After the wicked people will get their punishment, as it's explained in several prophecies. Then Moshiach is going to fix the whole entire world. What does it mean, the whole entire world? People, animals, plants, stones, the whole entire world. Okay, every single particle and insect of the world will be in a form of serving Hashem. The whole world will be exactly the way Hashem wants. Like Rashi explains what it says, where we say, Shema Yisrael, listen Israel, Hashem is our God, Hashem is one. Says Rashi, Hashem Shahu Elikeinu Ata, Hashem that He's our God now, and He's not the God of those that worship the stars. Hashem Elikeinu, He's only our God. He's not a God over the whole world. Who asid liyes Hashem echad? He's going to be the only God over the whole entire world, that the whole world will accept Him as their God. Then in the future I will transform all the nations to have a clear language. Everyone's going to call out in the name of Hashem. It says then Hashem is going to be the only God, and His name is going to be one name. Okay, now we said the whole world is going to serve God. Okay. Oh, but in this itself, that the whole world is going to serve God, there is something that we need to clarify over here. Two ways of saying something. One way, the main revelation of God that's going to be in the future is made for the Jewish people. The redemption is mainly, specifically made for the Jewish people. Just like the redemption is specifically for the Jewish people. What does it mean, Geula? Geula means kibbutz golius, to return back to your place. Cave and shagalinu no, because we were the ones that were sent out from our homeland. So too, who's the main people that are going to need to go to Eretz Yisrael in the redemption? Who's Moshiach going to bring to Eretz Yisrael? The Yidden. Who's Geula for? What does Geula mean? To return. Who needs to return? The one that left. So we were the one that left throughout our Vedas. Mashiach is going to come and He's going to do v'kibitz nidchei Yisrael. He's going to gather together specifically the Jewish people back to Eretz Yisrael. And this that the whole world will see God, and there's going to be a revelation of God in the whole world. This is a something. This is an outcome from the redemption of the Jewish people. Just like they were created to begin with, the whole world was created to begin with for the Jewish people. We say Bereshis. Why don't we say Reshis? What's this? Bara Lekim Shemayim Ba'aretz. What's this Bereshis? God created the heavens and earth. Bereshis in the beginning. Say Reshis Chacham Yiras Hashem. Reshis Bara Lekim Shemayim Ba'aretz. In the beginning, what's the Bereshis? So Rashi says Beis Reshis. Hashem created the world for two things that are called rashis. Beis rashis for two things that are called rashis. But Hashem created the heavens and earth. What are these two things that are called rashis? The Yidden and Torah. So God created the whole world, all the people in the world, and all the things that exist in the world. God created it for rashis, Yidden and Torah. So too, the redemption is made for who? The redemption that God's going to bring is made for Yidden and made for Torah. So, and whatever is going to happen to the rest of the world and to the nations of the world, this is only a outcome because the Jewish people are being redeemed, so they're also going to have some type of a redemption. But in this itself is the question. This that the worlds of the nations of the world will also have a part of the redemption. In what form will they take part in the redemption? How will the nations of the world feel? Will they feel that their whole redemption is just a detail in the Jewish people's redemption because the Jewish people got redeemed? So they also got some type of a redemption? They also got some type of a revelation of God? Or that God is shining to them their own private specific light? God is giving them their schar. It's coming, but it's all from the Jewish people's redemption. It's an outcome from the Jewish people's redemption. But nevertheless, God is giving them their own private portion. In other words, are they getting leftovers from the meal? Or you're giving them their special portions to eat? Understand? Now, what's the explanation for each way of explaining this? The explanation of this. According